So I thought we'd start with what we did last week, those things we mutilated last week. My jury is still slightly out on some of those from last week. Again, as we said last term, we'll give things a go. If they work, they work. If they don't, they go. So can we start with the Adele number, which we always have to say was written by Bob Dylan, Make Me Feel Your Love. And we'll start with that and see how much we remember. Some people don't seem to remember what they sang last week. I'm going to try this one more time. You are being filmed and you're being a bit stupid. Who sang the higher note last week? Oh, look, people have got that. Lovely. Who sang the lower note last week? Lovely. Everybody's hand moved. Right, okay. Right, so unlike the first cue, you don't go up in the third bar. You have second and third bars are the same note. And then a one beat. So let's hear the introduction, and I'll give you the one that's when the rain, in your face. Don't forget to go down on your face. See what happens. It's always nice, isn't it? Okay, band, are you ready? 2, 3, 4. I'm Gilly and I'm the Creative Director of the Silver Programme at the Sage Gateshead. The Silver Rock Choir, which is the group that we've just seen, has only been going since last October and developed really from the fact that most of our singing groups are quite mainstream and that they do classical music or they do a lot of songs for the shows, the Adivas group. And this group really was to offer something from our teens, really, the kind of music that we enjoyed when we were perhaps more into pop music than now, looking from the 60s right the way through to now. And this is one of the few groups where we sing a lot of things in unison, which we're able to do because we have the amazing band that plays with us. So the thinking behind it really was to offer something a bit more upbeat, a bit more trendy, for those people who could come later in the day, because this is our latest group, I think, 4:30 to 6. We usually, everything tends to be between 11 and 3 because of bus passes. So this is a group that's a bit more self-standing. We've always run the programme to cater really for achievement, in a sense. We've never dumbed things down. So when I run singing groups, I always give the music for people to read. And they have a choice. They can ignore it or they can use it if they want to. We have, you know, within the groups we have probably, I don't know, 5% of people used to be head teachers. Another 5% used to be heads of music in schools, right the way through to people who worked in the shipyards, people who have... So we have a huge balance of experience and education as well. And I've always aimed to sort of offer something for those who want to really achieve the most. And you can fit in with that, rather than going, we'll just give you a few words and hum things because that person is only up to that. It's really about striving to get to do your best and to learn more. There's no limit to the age for learning at all. Our Silver Singers groups now are very much more for people who want the social side of singing, whereas we have groups like the Silver Breves and the Silver Choir, which are voice tests it to a certain extent, for people who want to actually go away and learn things by heart. And so it's really looking at that balance right the way through, from the most frail people we work with in the Silver Lining, who have quite advanced Alzheimer's or dementia, right the way through to people who might just be early retired, who have very good pop skills or whatever. So it's really looking at how you incorporate that whole thing. And what we've discovered is that the calibre of our musicians and our musical practitioners, if they are very honest with people and they bring their skills and their pluses and their minuses, if you like, to a group, this is an age group that will support that. And I think also never forget the people with whom you're working. We have such a strong network of volunteers and people who, you know, we have sort of peer leadership now. All our recorder groups are led by people who have played record in the past. Our brass group used to be. We've now got a tutor for that. So it is really looking at the abilities you have within your groups as well, and playing to that. So if you know that somebody in the front row is being awkward because they know a lot more about music than you do, use that. Get them to arrange things. You know, actually work with the people rather than think, I'm in charge, I have to run this like a school group, everybody has to behave or else we'll have anarchy. You have anarchy, you know, I mean, this is an age group where you can have anarchy and it really benefits you. It's not like a job. They've got to enjoy it as well. And it's got to be fun. You've got to have a sense of humour with it. And you've got to really, especially when you have a lot of older men who are just recently retired. You know, one day they're Mr. So-and-so is very important. The next day they're Sid in the corner who nobody's really interested in. And you have to really regrow, if you like, the respect for themselves and the respect you have for them. And everybody in that group has to believe that you're there for them. It's no good just thinking they're part of a group, they'll be fine. You have to have that contact with people. So you have to know their names. You know, the Silver programme, if we know somebody's in hospital, somebody's had a relation who's died, we will always send a card, and I will handwrite that card from myself and the team, because it's important that, I mean, and people say you can't do that for 1,000 people. Well, you don't have to do it for 1,000, but you know, in any given week there are 5 or 6 people who are in hospital or poorly. It doesn't take me very long, you know, and it's a small thing, but it's very, very important. Going to people's funerals, families really appreciate it, you know. It's quite extraordinary, really, the little things that make all the difference and give you that loyalty back. Sustaining health, sustaining well-being is going to be more important. You know, we've got a generation now, the generation between maybe 60 and 70 or even 75, who are much healthier than that generation was 10 years ago. I've noticed a huge difference in 10 years between people who are 60, people who are 70 and so forth. And these people, we need to sustain their health. We're not looking at how we work. We work with frailer older people, but we're not looking at that end. And I think that's where we have to be challenging funding about people doing it for themselves. You know, and something like the Silver Rock Shack, we decorated it ourselves. We put the posters, people did it themselves. We even laid the carpets, you know, people did everything themselves. So I think that is going to be something that's going to be much more important.